In this video, we will be discussing reinforcement.
Reinforcement is a stimulus or event that increases the likelihood a behavior will be repeated.
For example, Johnny needs to clean his room. His mother knows he loves cake and offers the incentive that if Johnny cleans his room, he will receive a piece of cake. Johnny will continually clean his room after that, since he knows that every time he does, he will receive cake.
Reinforcement was coined by B.F. Skinner in his infamous Skinner box. Skinner placed a rat inside a box with a lever that they could press to release food. Through a process called shaping, Skinner trains the rats to learn to push the lever whenever they wanted to eat. From there, the rats continued to push the lever knowing that they were going to get a reward.
This led to Skinner's idea of operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is a learned association between a response and a stimulus.
Skinner achieved his result by using different schedules the rats had to follow. These became known as intermittent schedules. These are different ways to reinforce a certain behavior.
The first schedule we will talk about is fixed ratio. This is when reinforcement is on a predictable schedule that is based off the number of correct responses made. Think of it this way. Fixed means not moving or changing, and a predictable schedule does not change. Likewise, ratios deal with numbers like in math, so every time there is a ration schedule, it is referring to the number of responses made. For example, Randy works in a factory building toy horses. For every 10 horses he makes, he receives $1,000.
A vario ratio schedule is an unpredictable schedule that is based on the correct number of responses made. The number of responses needed for each time for reinforcement varies, unlike fixed ratio. Think of the word variable as similar to the word varies, meaning no single definite answer or unpredictable. For example, Sally is in an arcade. She wants to play the ticket winner game. The grand prize is 500 tickets. Sally knows she will hit the jackpot, but she does not know how many coins she will have to put in order to receive the prize.
A fixed interval schedule is where the first response is rewarded only after a specified amount of time has elapsed. Fixed schedules are predictable, like fixed ratio, but interval schedules deal with time rather than the correct number of responses made. Intervals are used to describe measurements of time, so think of interval schedules as dealing with the time elapsed during reinforcement. For example, Ronald works in a business firm on salary. He knows that he will receive his paycheck of $5,000 every 2 weeks despite any overtime.
A variable interval schedule is where a response is rewarded after an unpredictable amount of time has passed. For example, Samantha's teacher assigns the class homework nightly, but checks off their work randomly. Since Samantha does not know when the homework will be collected, she makes sure to always have their homework done to avoid getting a zero.
In conclusion, there are 4 reinforcement schedules: fixed ratio, fixed interval, variable ratio, and variable interval. Remember that fixed means predictable, while variable means unpredictable. Also, ratio is the number of correct responses, and interval is the amount of time. These schedules are used to encourage behavior to continue or to stop. Thank you so much for watching.
Created using PowToon.